Millionaire's mockery of black mother on flight backfires. After captain's urgent announcement unveils her true identity. The soft hum of the airplane engine fills the cabin as the woman, a black mother, and her young son settle into their seats for what should be a routine flight. But something is unsettling in the air. The business class passenger seated beside her, a well-dressed millionaire, sneers at her, making crude remarks under his breath. He seems to think that he's better than her, that she's beneath him. But when the captain's voice crackles through the intercom, everything changes. The identity of the woman sitting next to him is revealed, and what happens next leaves him speechless. What happens when racism collides with truth? It's an ordinary flight. The sun filters through the airplane windows, casting a warm glow over the cabin. The mother, in her late 30s, holds her son close to her, his small hand clutching her sleeve. She looks out the window, lost in thought. Her son, wearing a bright blue shirt, is focused on his tablet, oblivious to the world around him. She sighs, exhausted from balancing her busy work life and motherhood. This trip is a much-needed break, a chance to take her son to visit family. However, her peace is short-lived. The man beside them, a man in his 40s with a suit so crisp it could cut glass, glances over at the mother with a subtle but unmistakable look of disdain. His gaze lingers on her son, then flicks back to her with an expression of judgment. He mutters under his breath, making sure the words are just loud enough for her to hear. "I bet she doesn't belong here." People like her don't usually fly first class. The woman doesn't react immediately, but she feels the sting of the comment deep in her chest. She's been through this before, being a black woman in a space where she's not supposed to be. Whether it's the workplace, an upscale restaurant, or now a first-class seat on a plane, has always meant bracing for the subtle and not-so-subtle racism. The weight of it isn't just in the words. It's in the way people look at you, or worse, look past you. The man sips his champagne, unaware of the storm he's about to walk into. As the flight continues, the mother tries to focus on her son, but the tension is palpable. The millionaire beside her continues to glance at her in a way that makes her skin crawl. Every so often, he makes a slight, dismissive sound, and she can feel the weight of his judgment. She tightens her grip on her son's hand, trying to ignore the man's presence. But it's impossible. She's been here before. In spaces where people like him, the wealthy, the entitled, look at her as though she's a threat to the status quo. But she's no stranger to carrying this weight. She's had to work harder, fight harder, and prove herself more times than she can count. She's an accomplished professional, a mother who raised her son with love and discipline, and a woman who's learned to navigate a world that often feels like it was built to keep her out. The man, on the other hand, seems blissfully unaware of the depth of his ignorance. He talks loudly about his business ventures, his travels, and his life of luxury. He looks at the woman as if trying to find a way to put her in her place subtly. His words are just loud enough for those around them to overhear, ensuring that his superiority is known to everyone within earshot. But the mother doesn't budge. She's been taught that the best way to deal with ignorance is to ignore it. So she turns away and focuses on her son. She knows that sometimes, in these moments, it's her silence that speaks the loudest. Then the captain's voice crackles over the intercom. It's an announcement, something routine, or so it seems. The voice comes through calm and professional, but there's a change in the tone. The message is short but powerful. "Attention, passengers. We have a special guest with us today." The woman sitting in seat 2B is an award-winning scientist, a leading voice in the fight for racial equality, and the founder of an organization that has helped countless underserved communities. Her work has saved lives, and her contributions to the field of medical research are truly groundbreaking. Please join me in recognizing her incredible achievements. The millionaire freezes, the glass of champagne suspended in midair. The mother doesn't immediately react to the announcement. She remains calm, her son's small hand still clutching hers. But she knows what's coming. She can feel it in the way the entire cabin shifts, in the way the air changes. The whispers begin almost immediately. "Did you hear that?" "Is she really—" "No way." The businessman beside her is now visibly uncomfortable, his face a mask of disbelief. He shifts in his seat, looking everywhere but at her. He tries to pretend that the announcement wasn't about her, but it's clear to everyone around them that it was. His condescension earlier, his mocking looks, his comments about her place in first class suddenly seem so small, ridiculous. He's just a man who thought his wealth and status gave him the right to look down on someone else. But now he's been forced to confront the truth. This woman, the one he deemed unworthy of the seat she occupies, is not just a woman. She's someone who has achieved more than he ever will. The silence stretches, but the tension in the cabin is thick. The mother's expression doesn't change. She doesn't need to say a word. Her accomplishments, her hard work, her place in the world, it's all there now on full display. And the millionaire? His smile is gone. The laughter from earlier has evaporated, replaced by a look of sheer embarrassment. As the plane lands, the mother stands, gathering her belongings, her son's hand still clasped tightly in hers. The millionaire, his earlier arrogance now replaced with humility, avoids making eye contact. The cabin is quieter now, almost reverential. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't need to. His earlier behavior has already spoken for itself. The mother walks down the aisle, her head held high. She's been in situations like this before. She knows that moments like this, though small, matter. She knows that it's not about proving people wrong, it's about knowing who you are and standing firm in that truth. As she exits the plane, she glances back one last time. The businessman is still seated, his posture slumped. His champagne glass is half full, but his confidence is gone. The power dynamics of that small moment in time have shifted. What happens when the narrative changes? When those who have been overlooked, underestimated, or judged are given a platform to reveal who they truly are? The woman's story, her true identity, was always more than what was seen on the surface. And the businessman? Well, his lesson in humility will stick with him for a long time. When the plane lands, it doesn't end when the last word is spoken. The impact lingers. It challenges perceptions. It asks us all, how often do we judge others based on assumptions, based on the labels society has placed on them? The next time you encounter someone you might be quick to dismiss, remember, you don't always know their story. And sometimes, the truth will reveal itself when you least expect it.